Good morning. Have a sec here. All right, let's get started. All right, this market is, I don't know. It's been a little off for me. Well, I'm a little off this week, but things just not lining up the way I want them to be, to feel confident and aggressive, because not the pictures that the way I'm seeing it, or misalignment of markets, misalignment of time frames. Whereas, I guess we're kind of getting what they suggest to me what's going to happen. And that is what's happening. But, looking for some type of a turn. And some of the stocks have gone up very nicely. Most of the internet stocks, of course, they've just done well. But I like to see the markets lined up with what I want to trade and participate in. So the Dow here is actually, which has been weak comparatively to everything else, just continues to inch down and getting closer to this major support level down here. So you can see yesterday, and this bar right now is today. So it's got a long way to go. It could turn green and turn around here, but you can see the hourly is in a downtrend, and throughout the week, it's just been, lower highs and lower lows. When I've talked about the hourly time frame being misaligned, not so much with the Dow, but, looking at the S&Ps. And so I want to look at those. And this is, as close as you really want to see this move lower, and turn. It should have turned here, ideally, after this move up. And it tried. That topping tail was a green bar, and sellers came in yesterday, and now this is pushing lower, and it's a new low. It's just tickled under that low. So this is, the idea of a greater, or concept of a greater than 100% retracement, where things typically try and reverse after that. However, it's not coming from a V top. It's coming from a rounding type of a top, which is more times than not leads to a further move down versus a break of the prior low and then a V bottom and turning back up. So we'll see how that what that does here. Of course, S&Ps obviously stronger, and kind of weird. Usually the Dow and the S&P tend to move together. Maybe it's all about General Electric and coming out of the Dow. I'm not sure. I have to go through each stock and take a look, but whatever. So now with the S&Ps, again, it's pre-market, it's early in the day. And I look at this pattern, I can't read too much into it yet. So this strength was great, with the bottoming tail. And then yesterday was a consolidation day. So it was an inside day. And after initially moving up, just went chopped sideways, did nothing. And now, having come back down, we've got a new high failure. And again, this is the hourly chart. Break of major support. The next support level was just below it. So this is expected what it's doing right here. And now we're looking to see, what does this do here? Does this V bottom, the 2-bar reversal, result in a move back up? Or over the next 5 to 30 minutes, does it go sideways here, which would open up the door to a move back down? So it's kind of going to be a wait and see for me as far as the market goes here, and at the open, to see what it does. Now, based on this daily pattern, this should turn into a green bar. If this ends the day with a topping tail near the low of the day, and the Dow stays down there, that's going to point toward a move down here, a measured move, and possibly down into the 50 MA. So I'm not, I don't have a high confidence level as to the market moving down or moving up until I see more information. NQs, obviously, a completely, another world here because of internet stocks, which are, Facebook, Google making new highs. Netflix continues to move up. MU this morning got its target raised, looking for higher prices. That's up almost $3. Semiconductors trying to make a turn here. So, and of course, the Russell is at new all-time highs. And the other extreme is that, we'll take a look, is that the transports that did look great on that negative day a couple of days ago broke down below support. So we've got these opposing poles here, which is, if you're in the right stuff, great. Otherwise, you're kind of like churning and doing nothing. And so we'll see how it develops here. But right now, it was going higher. It's pulled back, broke under this little support area. It's holding the next level. And similar to the S&Ps, we'll see what this does in the first 5 to 30 minutes to see if it can pop right back up again, or whether it's going to go sideways or just break lower. So not so confident as to which way things are going to go. Bonds, just a mess. Not interested whatsoever there, other than how their influence on equities. Oil, a mess. Just slopping around here. It would have been better to have made a measured move lower, just directly down, and then stabilization, and then a reversal. Whereas now it's just stopped here, and kind of like, I guess, oil traders waiting to see, is there the next shoe to drop where this will go down, or whether some positive news can come out and it can get above this level, then leaving it as a reference point of support, and then to be able to push it back up. So not a clear message there whatsoever. Gold just continuing to deteriorate, and gold stocks, I'm sure, must be going down. GDX. Right. So here, and the gold stocks actually had been holding up really well in face of the metal falling, but now you can see it's beginning to drop here. So maybe gold stocks are the place to go look for some shorts. I haven't looked there, but as I'm looking at this, that's what I'm thinking. We shall see. And just looking at the ETFs, you can see the gaps and then reversal. It held here, and yesterday was pretty much a go nowhere day. We did nail the turn intraday as it started to go up from an intraday trade. And so now we're looking to see what's going to happen here based on what I've already said. Is this just maybe another consolidation day? Does it get under here and go down a measured move? I don't know. I just need more information. Qs, same story. Looks great. Going sideways here overall. Pre-market, it is at this resistance. So an obvious point where there would be some sellers, especially after that gap up. But, it didn't get that far yesterday. Russell gapped up, looks fantastic. It held the gap. It closed near the high. That was helped by biotechs, which looked good. And so nothing stopping there. We got a significant support down here. As long as it stays above that, whatever's going on is just chop. And here are the transports, which were looking great. Right? They had moved above resistance, going sideways. The gap down was bought. You had the consolidation resting day, which should have resulted in either another rest day or a push up. And that negative trade war news, it gapped down. And yesterday was a go nowhere day inside bar. And what else? We got this home construction just hanging out here. It's probably not going to do much, I don't think, this week. It's a bottoming type of pattern, but we liked it because of, the weekly chart, which has had a nice pullback in the bottoming tail bar. So it's just kind of creating the right side of the downside shakeout bullish pattern. So as long as it just holds in this area, it's retraced a bit deeper than we would have liked because it's gotten down to the bottom of the wide range bar, but it's a bottoming pattern. So you got to give it a little bit more leeway. Whereas let's say it was over here and you got the wide range bar, and rather than shoot up, it consolidated. We don't want to see it retrace more than halfway into it. So with bottoming patterns, kind of allow that more so to happen. You could see here, a wide range bar up after like a shakeout, and it retraced close to the bottom, not quite, but that's a nice type of, I refer to it like a hook pattern there. And then this was up. So waiting to see if that develops and to go higher. And aerospace and defense, that getting a little pounded here. We knew that was likely to come when the breakout failed. But Boeing on the trade news got shellacked, and that's the leader in that sector. And we'll have to see where it goes from there. Oil stocks, I think this XOP, and this is pretty oil and gas looking much better than, say, OIH, right? Completely different, related to oil, but a different sector and outperforming there. Other than that, it's kind of like a split as to how things are looking. Apple here, kind of inched higher a little bit, but going nowhere. This is going to take some time, looking for this to bottom out here. The market could play havoc with that. Oh, that's wild. Intel, something going on there. And if that's real, that data. But we like Intel because of the long-term chart. So I'm looking for this to settle down. It'll take some time. And the MU, I think this was earnings, I forget. Anyway, gapped up and kind of messy, but looking pretty good. So there's a lot of good stuff, and there's stuff that, and just puts things in question as to what's going to move in the market here. So depending on where you're at. So, there was yesterday's accident in Starbucks, which now is a broken stock. And of course, we didn't talk about it much in the room, not that I recall, but, FedEx on earnings, and it's down here on the 50. And this, just based on what's happening in the market, I just may focus on this today as a possible turnaround intraday trade because it's down a whole bunch. It's into support. It's on the 50 MA, and it might be able to get something going here. There's talk of a strike at UPS. Okay. And it was down yesterday, and that's on the 50 MA. We'll see, trade wars, strike, immigrant, whatever going on there. It's like a whole big drama in different places. So that's the way things are here. So we'll see how it all unfolds. Well, that being said, I'll let Mr. Gibby take over our open trades and gappers.
All right. Good morning, everyone. But yeah, Greg, that I had FedEx here on my list also for the same reason on support, and MU was earnings. But let's start with our opens. All right, here we go. STX, Iron Condor, it's still acting perfect for a condor. CWH, we That was a swing long yesterday. Box, we gave a put spread. Cron, that's the one I did the video on. Pro gap, and it's gapping up a little bit, so we can add to that today. CGC, the old canopy, I did a video on that, and perfect entry. That was, you know, right here when I was doing the video. Had a beautiful close, gapping up, coming in a controlled manner. That looks great. RCL, we have the iron condor. HEAR, we still have half a put spread. Cuervo put spread. SBAC call spread. XBI long the ETF. COO long the stock. Google put spread. And that's it. Here's a couple I just have in my minder over here that I'll be watching today. Not Delta, UAL. I wrote that wrong. You know, it's holding up, so I'm going to keep an eye on that for a put spread again. Jeffries, I mentioned, put spread. Here's the cane. We're watching the weekly. Zen, still strong. Tiffany. I'm actually watching this for a short-term call spread. If it can break down. It's getting tired. FLT I've been watching for way out of the money put spread here. USNA still sideways, but you know, that's good. Bots, I'm watching to short a bounce. NCMI, all right, that's one, yeah, the Cine Media we didn't trigger, so I'm still watching it. Now on here, LE, let's see if it holds right here. The puts are still very juicy, so I'm watching this for a put spread when the mothership holds. FedEx, we talked about. Yeah, it's just because oversold on support, rising 50 right here. MU, Greg mentioned, so that's earnings gapping up to 61.49. Market off. Definitely not a tier one for me. You know, it's a mess. We'll come back and look at it in 30 minutes. APD. Oh, this was the one in that guy's. Hey, good morning, Gustavo. This was the one in that option profits that I told you we're going to review every single day. And I told you I've been watching them for what, a month? I have not found one single pattern I've liked of his, not a single one. This one, he says, to short it or buying out of the money put or whatever he said. And he said that the stock's going to fall another 10% and get ready to make 200% on your long put. It's down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. It's down 8 days at this prior low. Is that the proper place to put on a new short? I don't think so. That guy's just unbelievable. You know, I should keep a diary of his junk. Here he said, you know, Alcoa was going to make new highs. Remember this man? He said it's going to, you know, go to target 125 on this day, on this breakdown day. I don't know what that boy is smoking. Kroger up on earnings. That's a pro gap, right? But it's too big. Remember down here, we were wanting to sell a put spread right on this day, but we didn't want to hold over earnings. But very nice. Cassie gapping up 750, so it's way the heck up here. So it's not a tier 1 because the gap's too big and the target is uncertain. Now this is going to be an ugly bearish gap because this is a strong uptrend, rising 20, 50, and it's opening up way down here to 200. That's some pain. That's a pro gap down, but we don't have a great price void is the problem. But let's, definitely watch him. BKS, what a mess. Barnes and Noble, are they still in business? I mean, these companies just, just like, yeah, because I'm in Fort Lauderdale also, as you all know, and yeah, I remember Wayne Huizinga, the millionaire who's he's very talented man. He developed 3 companies into Fortune 500 companies, and he also owned, I think, the Marlins for a while. But I remember the days 25 years ago when he owned Blockbuster Video, and now it's a dinosaur. Didn't keep up with technology. And I always wondered that, going to those stores. I'm like, don't you see all this stuff coming online where you can order right from the comfort of your home? And so that one went into the graveyard. But he's been in the waste business. And so Barnes and Noble, I don't know how you pay the overhead of that big, beautiful store. And what's the margin on a book? DRI 105. This was earnings, Darden Restaurants. Gap's too big. I mean, it's as bullish as can be. Gap, but I don't know what to do with it. ALV 154, so it's gapping here. This might be a bear call spread candidate. Our Netflix, we're not in, but that was a beautiful trade. Whenever we did it. All right, Google. All right, nice gap here, 382. That's our put spread. The old goose. We're waiting for a retracement. It's still not ready. SBOT. This is I think a biotechnologies. Oh, it's Stellar. Stellar Biotechnologies. 1 second, guys. My cable. Okay, so we got a Stellar Biotech, 257. That's a bullish gap. I mean, it's a penny stock and it's a bio, but that if that's your style, that definitely could be in play today for day trading. All right, the box we mentioned, we can add to that today. CGC, we mentioned. Cron, we mentioned. LMNR. I mentioned that already. PIDCO. All right, this one I like. This I like. Look, gapping up to 2440, so it's just out of a base. Now we have a tier 1 gap set up. I'm going to put that in my thumbnail. It's kind of whippy here pre-market, so that's going to add a little bit of uncertainty. But that's a beautiful gap that's tradable. It's not too big. If it were gapping up to 30, I would say, what the heck are you going to do with it? It's too big. It's in a gap fill. So that I like. AOBC. 1223, so very bearish gap. Let's keep an eye on that. American Outdoor brand. Oh, that's I saw on the news ticker going by that said, yeah, their gun sales are down. So that could be a bear call spread candidate. 40 bucks, gap's too big. Look, it's gapping. I got to go to my monthly to see 40. And look, there's nothing to do there, but well, it's another therapeutic, so I have no interest in them. Very, very tone. Wow, I remember this stock. Look at this weekly. Holy cow. This was just last year. My God. This thing went from 10 to 70 something. Man. And now it's a bearish gap down here. We'll keep an eye on that. MEI 4150, bearish gap to the low end of this wide range bar. Methode Electronics, never heard of that. Web, 25 bucks. This is a bullish consolidation. It's gapping over. It's not a pro gap because it's not igniting a new move, but it's still a bullish one. Look at my monthly here, 25 is resistance. But this is, if this bar is real, nice wide range igniting, shallow pullback, that's bullish. I mean, so my only tier one really is this PIDCO, and the others will come back and look at them after 15 minutes or so. Hey, good morning, Frank, and everyone else. All right, that's all I got. And it's 9:29, so perfecto. Here's pre-market action. So remember, we were cautious into the close where I said I'm doing nothing. We had a double top after making a new high, then lower low, lower high. So we were in a downtrend on the 15-minute chart, neutral on the daily. And I'm neutral right now. But we have a number of nice things to watch. Diamond's still lagging, like has been the story. Qs here look pre-market, much stronger than the spiders. You see that? Just look at this pre-market. Look at this 15-minute chart into the close and pre-market. We're now making a higher high on this 15-minute chart where spiders and diamonds are not. Wow, poor diamonds are just, I think this trade war stuff is just really hurting them. All right, PIDCO. See that? I'm going to check puts right now because if you can get good premium, these things really, they suck them out quick. But that is a beautiful gap. That's 29 days. The 22s are 25 by 50. So I'm gonna, now it just went 30 to 55. So 22s are way the heck down here, but I'm not rushing in after 1 minute. But here's some times where I might want to play market maker, try to get filled on the offer. Yeah, Dan, we did, but if you're still in it, yeah, my stop, we spoke about this in detail yesterday. I put the stop under 1990, this wide range bar. because I never expected 100% retracement, at least not that quick. But we talked about, you know, should we have had an initial stop under this, under 1949? But, you know, if you're still in it, you know, hold your breath, it might hold. I wouldn't bail now here at the low. All right, I'm looking over here at our opens, if we have any problems. Cool down a little bit. But in terms of problems, no, we have no problems at all. Look at our CWH. We were long yesterday, so that's busting a move, relative strength with the market coming in. That's good. FLT, let me check the puts on this now. That's relative strength also. Look at the 15-minute chart. It broke out. It's before the 200 190s. There were 50 cents on this gap day that I was watching, and now they're only 25 cents. So you either pass on the trade or consider going higher to the, well, no, they don't have $5 increments. I was going to say I would do the 205s, but they don't have 205s. You would have to do the 210s, which is here on minor support. And then you're just, you know, banking that this gap's going to hold. There's ITB, XBI up a little bit. Here, we're still at half. All right, our STX, oh shoot, it's getting on the bullish side again. So, you know, we have the condor, so we always are, you know, more concerned about the side going against us. So I'll keep an eye on that. Our Zen, we aren't in it, but we're watching it. It's LE, nothing. UAL up 30 cents. It's still holding. I just need the mothership to hold before I start adding bullish positions. Nice gap here. This was the entry on that day. And then look at this no-brainer 15-minute chart. Wow, look at that. That was your entry right there. You had a small little breakdown failure right here. Sideways. Ah, that was a no-brainer entry right there. Right there. All right, y'all got anything? MU gapped and came in. See, remember I told you, I don't know what to do with that. Gap and resistance.